But what you need to know when you're dealing with people, especially when you talk about getting help from somebody, and then in the process of getting that kind of help, you then end up frustrating the person that is trying to help you. Most of that comes from your lack of understanding of the helper. Not just necessarily the work that you're doing, but lack of understanding of the person that is helping you grow, helping you do ministry. Most people, they go on to study what they do outside of the proper confines of the vision of the visionary. Right? Yes. Because remember, when the vision is written down, it causes people to behave in a certain way. Write down the vision, the prophet was told, and it was supposed to be read by somebody. This is where the frustration comes from.
Habakkuk 2 verse 2.
Habakkuk,
And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision
and then the vision,
make it plain
you make it plain
upon tables,
upon the stones,
that he may run that readeth it.
that he may run that readeth it. All right? So the one who reads the vision written on the stones will automatically run. So you write it in a way that causes those that were once walking to run. So a properly written and a properly read vision causes an individual to what? To run. So you derive speed from your understanding of what is written. Your understanding. If you want to increase in terms of speed, you go back to the writing and you read over and over and over and over again. The more you understand what is written, the faster you can run. So understanding of the vision is very important in eliminating frustrations. So you cannot properly also understand a vision outside of the visionary. Because I saw what I saw, I wrote. So the vision that is coming to you now, it's coming to you in a different format. That's not how I saw it. When God showed me the ministry, it was not in written form. Maybe it was in a picture form. Maybe it was in an audio form. But then I had to write it on a stone for people like you to come and read, right? And before coming, you were walking or you were seated. But then your ability to read the written, the translated vision on a stone is what gives you speed. So you cannot properly interpret that vision outside of the visionary. What is written has to be understood according to your understanding of the writer. Understand the writer. Who wrote this? If words are spoken, always ask who spoke those words. If it was Jesus, it means more. Okay? If it was Thomas, it's a different story. If it was Peter, it could be a different story. If it was Herod, it's a different story. But if it is Jesus, once words are spoken and you go to the source and you find out this is what God said, his promises are yea and amen. So it matters who wrote, who is the man behind the writing. You know, today when people find statements written on stones, it serves as proof of the existence of people. Because only people can write what can be read. So you look at the vision, because I think you are speaking from serving in terms of ministry. So what did you see when you looked at the stone? Because on the stone there is something else that you might see, which is not the writing, the stone itself, yet it's not part of the vision. It's not part of the vision. The vision is written on the stone. Why on the stone? For perpetuity. The 10 commandments were written not on a piece of paper, on a stone. They live longer. So when something is written there, you get to look at what is written. You must also understand the reason why they had to write it on a stone. It means this thing is solid. This thing is serious. This thing should not be altered. So you must understand the reason behind the stone, the material on which the vision was written, and then the vision written. Look at the vision, read it. But what gives you a proper meaning of what you are reading is your understanding of the visionary. Who saw this? Who saw this? Who wrote this? Are you convinced such a man had seen anything? Because people can write. Stones can be found anywhere. And people can write things that they have never seen. Yesterday I was reminded of a place that I once visited, of course in the spirit. And what I saw there were very, very interesting things. Because I was also seeking to understand why a man, I think 12 or 14 years ago, when Paul was talking about his experience, and he said whether in the body or outside of the body, God knows. But this man was caught up into the third heaven, and he saw things that are unlawful for a man to utter. And I was reminded of a place that I once visited as well, and I saw things that were so interesting. I was so intrigued, I was so excited, and I was ready to write. And I was told by somebody came to me and they were smiling. He said, many have been to this place, yet they have not been able to take the secrets of this place outside. So the reason why he was telling me that is because when I saw certain things, I took out a scroll and I began to write the things because I didn't want to forget. I said, when I saw that, I began to write. When I saw that, I began to write. And what was happening was that as I was writing, I saw letters. Each letter that I would write, I saw it falling from the paper. So I was wondering what is happening. I'm trying. That's when this person came smiling. He said, many have been to this place and yet not a single secret has left. It's a secret place. And I said to him, okay, how about if I'm to share what I've seen? If I can't write? And they said, when you leave this place, whenever you try to share secrets that you have seen from this place, there is always a spirit from this place that will not allow the people there to understand. That's how we keep secrets. So you can't write and you can't tell stories that you see here. So it's very, very important for us. I'm just, okay, very sorry about that. But when somebody sees a vision and is given the right by God to make it, to write it, okay, he wants people who are not of his stature in terms of his sight, stature in terms of sight, to be able to read what they can't see in visions and in dreams. So it's an interpretation of a mystery, writing it down. We are making it simple for people like you. We are not sending you back to the mountain where we saw it. We are saying, we come here and we give you an interpretation. We give the vision a form. We bring it down to your level of comprehension. Simply read what I have written. So when you look at what is written, also understand the writer. Okay? Then when you start to work, when you start to run, your direction must be determined by the inscription. You must run according to your understanding what you have read. That is what brings visionaries frustration. Because you look at yourself as the visionary and look at your ability, you are also a bit literate. You are able to write and explain your desire to the people following you, and you have been able to make it plain. So people should seek to satisfy the demands of the vision. What really should rebuke you or correct you is not the visionary, but the vision. When you look at the vision, you must see the frustrated vision, not the visionary. I might not be there to supervise, to look at how you're doing it and what you're doing, but every time you go back to the template, you look at the way that you are running, is it still according to the writing? So there must be that conversation between yourself and the vision that was clearly stated. Am I doing it according to the script? You start laying hands on people. Are the results according to the script? Because that's what you come here to do. You are coming here to collect a script, and I do things in your presence. I don't wait for you to go home and then I start healing the sick. No, I do it while you are here, and you are wondering, I'm not the sick. So what am I doing here? I'm trying to present a script. I'm writing a script that needs to be followed. So if I minister to the sick and they recover, that becomes a script that ought to be followed. You go out, you also pray for the sick, you minister to the sick, and they don't recover. Already you are going against the what? The script. What you are frustrated is the script. Script. So the two of you, you can judge yourself. You have to look at the face of the stone and measure the quality of your work against the inscription. What was written? Am I performing? Am I running according to the statement on the rock? So without even asking me, are you happy with me? You ask the rock. You ask the script. Ask the vision. There must be a relationship between you and the vision, especially if it was clearly stated. You must go back to the vision and say, am I healing according to the script? Am I conducting myself according to the script?